I would say probably the main thing is if you're just getting into it, start really small. Like in like some of my classes at Drexel, like the first games that we made were pretty much just like rips off of like really like simple like games like Pong or like Space Invaders or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like take like a really like simple game, try to recreate it, and then maybe try to make like put like your own like little like spin on it.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Dorian Jones, and welcome to the Team Reinvented Gaming Podcast. I am here with Ryan McGlennon, aspiring game developer and esports coach. So, what's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Good, doing great. Getting ready we got the summer coming in. We
Yeah.
finished up our competitive seasons for the I think the Garden State Esport League,
Mm-hmm.
and we've already been talking like we're already getting ready. We're gonna be like setting up like a cool like a week thing for players to like come in. We can kind of like screen like some of like the players coming in. We're like already like looking forward to next year.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So I went to the high school. We talked and everything like that. I saw the stadium that you guys have, or not stadium, but the arena office that you guys have in there. I graduated from Long Beach High School, so it's good to see that over the years how it advanced and everything like that. How to have esports not tied into high school, which is something we're gonna talk about because it's definitely an important topic. But so let us tell us about yourself. Tell us how you got into where you are today. Cause I know you went to Drexel University, studied like game development stuff like that, right? And now you're coaching a high school esports team. So how did that happen in simplest terms?
All right. Well, as most game developers start out, you pretty much just love video games, and that pretty much just almost kind of like takes over your life to the point where it's like you want to actually kind of like dive in to see kind of like like what makes them, what goes into them. You have like design, the art, the programming, like everything that goes into it. So then I went to Drexel University. At first, I started as computer science, but I wasn't too in love with the programming. So then I kind of looked at like kind of specifically kind of like their game development stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then through there, learning like the Unity game engine, which I specifically use, learning like all of like the ins and outs, whether it's like production, making a schedule, or learning how to make like art assets, whether it's pixels or 3D models, and how like all that translates to working like in games.
Yeah.
Then from there, a couple colleagues of mine, we kind of formed like our own little indie game studio called Point Filter Games.
Okay.
And right after graduation, we got a small game called Foolish Mortals on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're working on our on a new project called Star V. That's kind of like in production. It's on the way, but we're excited about it. We're all kind of like treating this as kind of like a larger like production.
Okay. Nice.
So yes, that's exciting. And then how I got into the coaching was well for so indie game development doesn't really pay the bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless if you find like a publisher or someone to like support you. But so I went to work as a substitute teacher at the Long Branch High School,
Mm-hmm.
and or what's it called? I think just like in the district. And then
Yeah.
like that's been going. And then after I started working for this year for the 2020-21 year, they told me that like they're trying to like get like this esports. I think it used to be gaming, and then it became esports, like off the ground, and like just kind of like with my knowledge and like games, game development, all that stuff. They were like, they pretty much just came like right to me to like work with that,
Yeah.
and then that started up like in like the beginning of 2021, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was working with Sarah Tomas as like
Mm-hmm.
kind of like my co-advisor for it, and then we basically been building that up
Yeah.
like
Nice.
all of 2021 so far.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you definitely seem like a good person to have in there. I don't know much about Sarah's background. I assume she games, but I don't know how she got there and everything. But that's dope. That's dope. So game that's on Xbox, it's on. I say it's playable on Xbox, right? Like that game you guys developed.
Yep.
Okay, nice, nice. What was the name of that again?
It's called Foolish Mortals.
Foolish Mortals. All right, cool. I'm gonna check that. I don't have Xbox, but I'm gonna look that up and everything and stuff like that. So dope. Yeah, indie games are interesting. Among Us. I know you're familiar with Among Us.
Yeah.
And even Phasmophobia. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard of that one.
Don't know if those are actually indie games, but those have kind of sparked a trend in creating games, and like they pretty much paved the way, in my opinion, for people to be like, okay, I can create a game market it correctly, and it can probably pop off, right? It's not a for sure way, but it kind of probably opened people's eyes to the possibilities out there. Because a lot of games nowadays, in my opinion, are just like battle royales, first person shooters, um,
Third person narrative story games over the shoulder.
yeah, like it's all the same thing. I don't blame people because you can't. It's hard making a game. You can only be so creative in a video game world, right?
Yeah, and
So
then everyone has like their own like sets of like expectations, and whatever's popular in the market that usually drives a lot of
exactly,
decisions in like studios and stuff.
exactly.
But I would say even like the indie game trend, like definitely like with like Among Us and everything. But I'd say it's probably been going on probably for at least like 5 years now.
And Among Us is just one of those games that caught traction. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it got because a streamer streamed it, right? And they're like, oh, they're playing this. I want to play it. And then people played it. People played it. And I think it was different than every other game that's because you got Call of Duty, you got Siege, you have Apex, you have PUBG. The same games everyone's playing, and that game came along, and it was like, oh, this is something different. That's fun. That's free, and simple. So that's interesting. So that project you mentioned called what was the name of it? I'm sorry.
Star V.
Star V, yeah, Star V. I don't want you to give away too many secrets, but that's going well. When can we expect to see something about that?
I cannot give you a definite answer.
Okay.
We kind of just, or we're in the progress of kind of like we kind of got like our little kind of like prototype of what we liked about the game, and then we're kind of like in the midst of like kind of like taking it to kind of like the next step.
Okay.
And kind of like I guess like pushing like the gameplay and the systems and kind of like what we want like players to like get out of it in terms of like player like rewards and investments like when it comes to like playing the game. So like we're kind of like doing a
Yeah, like
I guess
you're working on it. Yeah.
yeah we're like
Yeah.
kind of like refiguring out kind of like what our production
Yeah.
like schedule is going to look like.
Yeah, I have a friend who's also designing a game, and I'm talking to him about that. And it's a process like creating soundtracks, creating artwork, scripting the game because like these games have to actually be scripted and coded, right? So like that's like a skill set in itself that very very smart people actually know how to do. So it's a process. So kudos to you, man. I hope that goes well, and I'd definitely be keeping up to date with you about that because
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having a friend in the game development world.
yeah.
So
My the team of people I work with, like we have like everyone like specializes in like I think I do most of kind of like the like designing like whatever the experience is, how like that's gonna work. I do a lot of kind of like the prototype like scripting,
hmm
and then we have another person who does like the design work and scripting with me. We have someone who does we have like two people who do like the art, like whether it's concept art and like
yeah,
getting like the actual art like in the game and working with all like the technical like making sure like the lighting's good and it's optimized.
okay.
And then we have a sound person also.
Oh, nice. Yeah, whole team.
So
That's
yeah,
dope.
it's like I like the people who do like the one man. Like I think like Undertale, like that's a popular indie game.
hmm
Like I think that was made by one person and then someone to do the music.
Oh wow.
Just like doing everything at once. Like it's still like it's like
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know how people do it. Like that's crazy.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you gotta be smart and if you can dedicate it because I can only imagine the tediousness of it, right? Of developing a game.
Oh
So
yeah, lots of hours.
yeah. So why Drexel University? Was it like is Drexel known for like gaming or is it known for computer science? Like why Drexel?
um, I believe at the time they had one of the higher up like game development programs,
Okay.
and I think that might have been the main thing. Also, being in Philadelphia, Philadelphia is a fun
Fair enough.
like area.
yeah.
Got to think about some of like kind of like the what you're gonna be doing on like the off hours and stuff.
Yeah.
Also,
Like yeah, you gotta get that. Yeah. Dope. So let's talk about high school esports. How's that? So that's going well. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about being an esports coach for high school students?
so I'll say my favorite thing is just seeing like just like that like competitive nature because I'd say you've probably played like a game to like some like competitive level. I'd say my recent like competitive game is probably like Overwatch,
Yeah, yeah.
and just like, getting like into it, like learning how to play the game, working with people to make like everything work
hmm
is just like it's like magic. Like when you see it like all work,
Yeah.
and like when I was working with like with my Overwatch team, like getting like some like strats down and using like certain abilities together. It's like once you like see it click, like when
Hmm.
the kids are playing, like they're like all like super excited.
Yeah.
So it's like even if like they don't like pursue it in like a professional career, it's just like nice like seeing like the communication, like the teamwork, and like everything like come together.
Yeah. That's
And
dope.
my least favorite is scheduling the matches with all the other, because it's like considered a club,
Yeah,
like the,
you
the
telling me.
organization that we're in. So it's like you'll have so many games where it's like, oh, we're like missing like half our team. It's like you said we're playing the match today.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes the students can be a little iffy with their schedules, whether if it's your own players or like other teams, and like
Hmm.
sometimes like that's just like
Yeah.
I would say just like the scheduling and getting. I think we kind of or with the organization, it was I don't know if it was like last minute, but they like really wanted to get like something just like going just to see how it would work when we
Yeah.
start next year, and it's like all or for like the entire like school year.
Hmm.
But yeah, just kind of like making
Making it
but
work.
but I feel like that's going to be definitely streamlined for next year anyway. But that was definitely my biggest like
Yeah. Very just
like, did you do
not.
that?
I would say chaotic. Chaos is the wrong word, but like just not streamlined. Yeah, just not smooth. So
Yeah. Or just people just like getting like adjusted to it.
yeah, yeah. And you guys have a good turnout. I mean, when I went over there, we talked numbers. We talked about the rosters and stuff like that. But, some games have better turnouts than others. In that, and I know Long Branch is new to Long Branch. It's the first year, and not even a year of doing it. But we'll see what happens in the fall when it's more streamlined, when it's promoted more so and stuff like that. Definitely great opportunity for kids because esports, man, it's an actual job and it is definitely a lucrative industry, but also an industry that you can have success in as a player, coach, business owner, and everything like that. So the fact of bringing it to high school, it's about time because one thing I always talk to my team about and people about is that esports needs to be tiered similar to how traditional sports are. Like for football, you have high school, college, NFL, right? You need that high school, not necessarily college, but you need that tier 3, tier 2, tier 1 level of esports. And I think high school can be that tier 3, that actually dedicated tier 3 level of esports that people can use to further their careers and become to become professionals. So
Yeah. I would say probably one of the maybe when we were starting out, because I would say the one thing with esports is that like there's always that line of like it's like, oh, you want to play the game, but are you good enough to like to kind of like
yeah.
pursue like the competitive thing? And I feel like since it kind of just like got off the ground,
Mm-hmm.
that we kind of just got the students who like applied. But same thing with like it's like if you're in like middle school, whether if let's say you play games, or let's just use like sports for example.
Yeah.
Like if you play football, it's like, oh, it's like I want to play and like get good at football for high school.
Yeah.
Well, if it's the same way for like Rocket League or like Overwatch, then you're gonna have like that like they're gonna be like pursuing kind of like that like building and like skill and like
I see what you're
whether
saying.
it's
Yeah.
climbing like the ladder, like yeah, it gives them something to look forward to. It gives them something to like kind of like get into and kind of like just kind of like you said, just like getting like the ball rolling like
Yeah.
earlier.
And I think when that happens, when it's structured that way, esports would one definitely be more respectable. But people will start taking it seriously, and I think adults and like our parents, right, are starting to take it more seriously because it is becoming more mainstream. It is becoming, you know, very. The results are showing, right, of how it can actually be an actual job. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to reinvent the industry, give people the opportunity to do what they love and everything. Um,
Yeah, one of my family members is like, oh, it's like this school gives a scholarship for playing games. It's like she's like, oh, like help my cousin like do it. I'm like, well, what game is it? It's like League of Legends. And he's like, I don't like League of Legends. I don't want to play League of Legends.
good luck. League of Legends is expensive to get into, like at the pro level. Just in general, it's expensive, and plus you have to be cracked at your mind. I don't play it, but like it's one. I heard it's one of the most tilting games ever, and
Oh yeah,
you just
yeah,
have to
I
be
know about
crazy.
League's reputation.
Oh
I don't
man,
I don't even remember for not wanting to get into it.
yeah, yeah. So but there's another side of the coin, right? One thing I've noticed working with players in the I'm gonna say tier 2 level, tier 3, tier 2 level, semi pros, is that it's not that we don't have the problem of whether or not they're good enough because I'm use Valorant, right? they're Radiants, they're Immortals, right? They're good enough to compete with everybody else with the pros. But now it's a thing of, do you actually want to be a pro player, right? And at that level, you would think they say yes, right? And they say yes, yeah, I want to be a professional player. But I try to explain to these guys, like, becoming a professional esports player in a time where esports is quote unquote the wild wild west, as my team manager says, where it's not smooth, you have to work for it. Like, and that's so cliche, right? Like, oh yeah, I have to work for it. No, no, you don't understand. You have to like rip a hole into your destiny and like achieve that goal. Like, you have to like put yourself above others. You have to, you just have to just do it. And it's, I don't want to go down too far that rabbit hole, but that's what I'm seeing. To give you some insight on what I'm seeing on my end is that people, these semi-pros, say they want to be pros, but don't actually know if they want to put the work in to become a actual professional player.
Practice it, having like their own like schedule, practices.
Well, that's easy. Well, they do that. They go to practice, they do everything like that. But when things get hard, or the thing is that they want it quicker than it actually can come. Like, like for example, you can win. A lot of players, I think that they can just play a big time tournament, and if they win it or if they make it to semifinals, they're a pro player. Like, no, it's not. You're not a pro player because you did that one time. It's consistency, right? Like, I rather, that's my phone. I apologize. Thought that was on silence. But I'd rather take somebody who has won multiple tier 3 and a couple tier 2 tournaments over somebody who has won a big tournament one time. Because in sports, consistency is what matters. Like Tom Brady, the reason Tom Brady is in the league is because he's consistent. Like, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have won, and he wouldn't want to be picked up. He wouldn't be paid. He wouldn't be as respected. Like, he's consistent. That's why he is, in his 40s and near 50s doing what he's doing, because he's consistent. And that's what esports players need to realize. Consistency is what matters. Because it's a sport. So I don't know what your thoughts are about that, but that's just what I'm seeing on my end.
Yeah, I feel like there's always going to be like that. Like it's not just like playing a game anymore. It's like it's a professional career, and you got to like treat it as such, and you got to keep working at it and going at it.
Exactly.
Or they can always go the fun route and just be like a streamer also.
Yeah.
Because that's also just a profitable. If you make it, it's just a profitable industry also.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So you're coaching for multiple teams, right? At the high school, like you're doing multiple different games.
Yeah.
We talked. Yeah.
Because we have let me pull it up real quick. Because we have a whole new schedule for the different games.
Okay. My camera is like out of focus. I'm upset.
Where is it? Oh, I sent it to somebody.
Yeah. Anyway, it must be kind of difficult. Competing, but coaching different games and everything like that. I know you have Overwatch, so that's your baby, Overwatch. But
yeah, that was also really tough this year because, like I said, it's like it's just like, oh, like let's just start and like do everything, and it was going to be Rocket League, Overwatch, and League of Legends all at the same time. Luckily, we didn't have enough people for the League of Legends, but even like then, like just like managing like the practices and the matches, like, it started to become a lot. But so for next year, in the fall we have Fortnite and Rocket League. In the winter, it's Overwatch, Smite, and they're going to be doing chess.
Interesting.
So that little extra. Is chess a board game? I don't know.
Yes, it is. We'll delete that from the podcast. No joking. Yeah.
Then in the spring is Valorant, League of Legends, and they're going to do Brawlhalla also.
Brawlhalla. Okay. Chess will probably be done online, if I had to guess, because you can do online chess, and it's like a streamable category in Twitch and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
probably that.
Yeah. Your Fortnite and your Rocket League is gonna kick off though. Because teenagers love Fortnite, and Fortnite is a really good esport to become professional in, because the way it's set up, it's like, I don't know if you play or how well you play it.
I played it a bit.
Yeah, I've touched it like one time, but I have people who play, and I do my research on it. They have like different divisions that you can play in, and they have their tournaments all the time, and like you can like work your way up in these divisions, similar to like FPL or Face It Pro League, if you're familiar with that. And like if you make it into this division, you are invited to like these like professional tournaments, and then if you win those, you keep doing well and everything like that. It's just streamlined very well, and it's a very once it's a free game to get into, and also the skill gap in that game is so high. So like the ones who grind it, the ones who take it serious are gonna succeed. You know, so I definitely
Yeah.
foresee you getting a lot of people for Fortnite. If you don't, I would be really surprised. And same thing with
Yeah, I
Rocket
remember
League.
when we started out, like a lot of kids asked for like Fortnite and Call of Duty. We're not allowed to do rated M games, so no Call of Duty or
Makes
Siege.
sense. Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of kids asked for Fortnite. We're like, but it's not offered right now. But
Yeah.
now it is. So now everyone can come out.
Yeah, Fortnite,
We're gonna
Fortnite's gonna pop off, and same thing with Rocket League. Rocket League's a good esport to get into too, because it's streamlined pretty well. And I am a fan of creating teams that are in games that aren't saturated. Like Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty are so saturated. Like everybody wants to be a pro in those games. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
Yeah.
a content creator. But games like Rocket League, Valorant, World Company, even Apex Legends, less saturated games. Even though Valorant is becoming saturated, but we got into it early enough because it only came out a year ago, so it's an early game environment, so it doesn't make it as saturated. But those type of games are very good to get teams in. So the fact that you guys are choosing those games is pretty well. You guys don't choose the games like the New Jersey Garden State Esports choose it, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that pick like the games and set up the schedules and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Dope. Um. Yeah, man. I kind of hit everything I wanted to ask you, but um. Well, we still got a few minutes and everything like that. So, what do you play? What do you play currently? What are you playing? What are you streaming? Do you even stream?
My internet is way too bad in my room to stream. I would totally love
No
to.
way.
I've tried, but like it's when I was in Philly,
Mm-hmm.
it was great. Like my internet and everything was great for it, but
Yeah.
now it's just I need to
Shoot.
find another
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 outlet.
provider.
Dang, that sucks.
And
Yeah.
I can't get it. I've looked into it. It just doesn't work out.
I feel you. I feel you. So coaching is kind of like a stepping stone, right? Because ultimately, you do want to be a game developer, right? Is that like your ultimate goal is to develop a successful game and be known for game developing, or is coaching still something that you're going to try to dabble in the future, or are you going to decide to see how the wind blows?
Probably see how the wind blows. I would
Okay,
say I wouldn't mind going either way. I'd say probably game developer probably take more precedence.
makes
That's
sense.
pretty much what I'm going to be doing over the summer in my free time now that like the season's done
Hmm.
and school's out. So
Okay, yeah. We'll definitely keep in touch about that because I have some ideas I want to bounce off of you, and you can always bounce off ideas off of me if you want to, and everything. Dope. Nope. So yeah, man, that's good. You guys aren't doing anything for the summer, right? There's no games in the summer. Like there's no esports because school's out, right?
yeah, but we're going to be planning. I think we're calling it like a play date week, and every day we're going to have the different like games available. I forget our schedule, but like I think Thursday is Overwatch. I think Monday we're doing League and Smite since they're kind of like similar games,
Mm-hmm.
and like the games also kind of take like a kind of like so we're gonna have like X amount of students that can sign up. So then they're gonna be so like if they're interested in the club next year, they can like hop in and just try out the arena. I know like with like COVID, we weren't really able to use. We were able to get like some like teams in to like play on it,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's like it's like we have it like the COVID restrictions and everything are gonna be like
Yeah.
lessened like here. So it's like let them come in during the summer and enjoy like the arena and stuff while we have it.
Dope.
And in the meantime, we'll be able to kind of like look at kind of like some pre-screening of see like what players like we'll be working with next year also.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. I might have to come by. I'm gonna go use the computers. I saw those. They're better than mine. Those computers you guys got over there are pretty good, man. They're pretty good. So I'm gonna have to hook you up with some teammate to give me mouse pads. Talk to school about that. Yeah, my org has our own mouse pads, and they're huge. They're like 3 feet wide by 19 feet high,
Yeah,
and
it's the whole like desk pads. They're
yeah,
so cool.
yeah, they're back there on the ground. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, hopefully I can get those into school. That'd be dope. But nice, Ryan. Yeah, it's great. It's great to hear about that and everything. I'm glad you're developing a game, and I can't wait to see how that turns out. Is that game going to be is that going to be a PC game or a console?
It's going. Our current plans is it's going to start off on PC, and
Okay,
then we'll expand. However,
however
I
it
know
is.
probably I know Switch is probably our like second pick,
Okay.
but just like the way how it kind of like everyone works on it because everyone has their regular jobs and then we kind of like work on this as like a passion project.
Yeah.
We put in like any like spare hours we have in like the week.
Hmm.
So it kind of goes as is, but we like I said before, it's like we want to make this like kind of like a like bigger like project. So we'll definitely be trying to get it on whatever we can by whenever like that time comes and we can
Nice.
start making those decisions.
Nice. For people who are developing a game or thinking about developing a game, um, and what's your one piece of advice for them? Like, if an 18-year-old right now coming out of high school is like, I want to do a video game or I want to make a video game, what's your one piece of advice you would give to them?
Actually, one of my students did that. They're like, I'm into game development. They're like, give me like any like tips or like tricks or anything.
Hmm.
I would say probably the main thing is if you're just getting into it, start really small. Like in like some of my classes at Drexel, like the first games that we made were pretty much just like rips off of like really like simple like games like like Pong or like Space Invaders or something like that.
Hmm.
Like take like a really like simple game, try to recreate it, and then maybe try to make like put like your own like little like spin on it.
Okay.
So that to give you, oh, it'll also give you like a little bit to like get like some like creativity in.
Okay.
And then also with that, I would say it's almost like pretty much like if you were to like think of this as like any type of like project like management type thing,
Hmm.
like have like everything kind of like planned out before you kind of just like jump into like coding and like stuff like that. So like if you're gonna be coding like let's just say like the Fortnite character. Let's say you're gonna
Yeah.
make like a person like shooter or whatever. Like plan out everything, draw out everything on a whiteboard, make sure like you have like all the details and like how
Hmm.
you want like everything to work before like you actually like jump into like coding it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like have like your like pre-production before you kind of just like hop in and like start like making stuff. Because like when you get to like kind of like the bigger games, like if you're gonna be making like a level for Call of Duty or whatever, it's like
Yeah.
you gotta know like the measurement of the character.
That's
If
true. Yeah.
you're making like modular like assets like doorways or like hallways, it's like you have to like know like how everything's made. You have to know like so like everything's like
Hmm.
optimized and all stuff like that. So put your due diligence into pre-production before like you kind of just like start going like hard in like the game engine.
Okay. Dope. Dope.
That'll save you some heartache later.
Yeah.
When-
Yeah. I can imagine. Shoot. Nice. Nice. Do you? I know Battlefield is coming out pretty soon. I don't know if you're a fan of that, but do you?
oh, the new one looks crazy. I'm excited
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that.
That's good. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for a game to just be different. Like I like battle royales, and these games we're having nowadays they're fun, but no, I'm just looking for another game to really change up the industry. I don't know what that's. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if you have any ideas or what you think the gaming industry would need for. Like I don't know. I don't know what your take on that is. If you think there's a game that needs to come out that hasn't already.
So you're talking just like a new trend or
Yeah.
just like a new
Yeah.
thing that's gonna like explode.
Like a new trend, like a new genre type of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question either. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's tough. I couldn't put a finger on it because I feel like it just comes out and it's
Hmm.
like, oh, look at this. This is cool. And next thing you know, everyone's doing it. You're like, oh, well, guess it was a lot bigger than expected.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably what it
That's one of the
is.
reasons why I like indie games like Among Us
Uh
because
huh.
it's like they're different. They're like completely like unique or
Yeah.
like niche, like their own like just like experience. And
Hmm.
that's why I personally really like indie games because you just get like these whether if it's just like this kind of like artsy like narrative like story game or it's
Hmm.
just some like completely just like wacky like mechanic.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So, where can people find you if they want to learn more about you? I know you don't stream, but you do YouTube. Have any social media for your company? Anything that people can find you on?
Um, let me. We just changed the handle, so I have to look at it real quick. But yeah, if you want to follow Point Filter Games, we have
Point
our own
filter.
specific Twitter, and then on the Twitter, like it links to I believe like links to our website and it links to our I believe we also have an Instagram. We're kind of like in the middle of like getting like production and stuff done, so we don't. post too often, but we're trying to like get more into that.
Okay.
At StarVGame on Twitter.
Okay.
And if you're gonna put it in like I guess like a description or whatever, I can also just like send you like the tag. So
Okay. Yeah,
and
it'll
then
be on the screen.
our website is just pointfiltergames.com.
Okay. Easy. Yeah, they'll be on the video and everything like that. They'll be down there somewhere. But yeah, that's dope. Well, Ryan, thank you for talking. Getting
Yeah,
your
of
thoughts
course.
and everything like that, man. And like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
we'll definitely be in touch. Um, about the game development. I can bounce ideas off of you and stuff like that. And let you know what I'm thinking, where my crazy thoughts are going and stuff like that. So
We'll make it a reality.
we'll make it a
We'll make
reality.
it happen.
We will. We will. But thank you, Ryan, again for being on the podcast, guys. Ryan, very smart guy, very good. I can't wait to see what success he has in the future. Thank you for being on the podcast. And
Yeah, of course. Have me, Dorian.
no problem, man. No problem. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.